Hi, welcome to the road to Larapinta. I'm Adrian.
I'm Claire.
And in 5 months' time, we are running the Larapinta Stage Race, a 128k 4-day adventure through the desert in the middle of Australia, just outside Alice Springs. And we're bringing you along for the journey along the way. Today, our cyclone weather seems to have passed by.
Thank goodness for that.
Which is good. So we're just doing our usual lap of the trails, navigating a few fallen trees.
Yes, and the branches.
And coping with, well, conditions that seem to have gone back to being horribly hot, sticky and humid again, which is...
Yes, the cyclone's left, but then it's brought the mugginess. And that, we would like it to leave. Thank you very much.
That was not supposed to happen.
No!
It's not summer anymore.
It's not part of the plan. We asked for cooler conditions, please.
So, on muddy, slippery trails with trees down.
And these shoes?
You're still wearing the 1080s, the road shoes.
And can I say something? Lived to tell the tale, so what can I say? Superior.
Do you not wish that you had just a little, just an incy-wincy bit more grip?
I nearly went into the garage, but I just was like, whatever. Say lovey. I've been fine so far, touch wood. Yeah. Apparently you shouldn't be superstitious, but I think runners are. So do you have a superstition before a race? Because apparently tennis players, like, you know, they have certain things, like Serena Williams bounces the ball twice on the first serve and like a certain amount on the second. What's your race day superstition?
For me, I don't know that there's much beyond the extremely sensible two-poo strategy.
Yes.
Which isn't essential.
Yeah. And even if you don't need to go, you just go. Like, you just know that you should. Because then I think it just automatically says to your mind, if I need to go during this race, don't.
I don't need to go. I've gone.
I don't need to go, I've done it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Sensible.
Yeah, I'll keep
I don't
that
know
in
if that's
mind.
superstitious though. That's
No,
just,
I think that's superstitious.
just good management.
Yeah, I mean, I also wonder if it's like, I check my laces a lot of times before I start. Like, I mean, I'm pretty good with my laces, but like...
That's a lot of double knotting going on.
Yeah, like I definitely do that a lot. Maybe
I don't do double knots.
Yeah, I noticed that. You want
have,
clean exit.
I have a good technique for tying my shoelaces that somebody passed on to me a few years ago. Said, hey, if you use this knot, your shoes will never come undone. And since then, they have never come undone. So maybe we'll do an episode on that.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested.
How to tie your shoelaces.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really basic thing.
But it is true. That's actually, I've seen people stopping in races to tie their shoelaces, and I think, not me, baby.
Yeah.
Not me.
You don't want that. Right, shall we carry on?
Let's carry on.
Our big race is in 5 months' time. That's a long time to stay focused. And from a YouTube point of view, that's a lot of videos that we'd have to fill with some sort of content to keep everybody interested and encourage you to hit subscribe, which you all really want to do, don't you? I can tell. So we've got actually a whole calendar of things laid out that we're doing this year, which is fairly typical. Any year, kind of look at the calendar and go, right, what races am I going to do? What events are going on?
Yeah.
And we already talked about the half marathon that we were supposed to have last weekend.
It got cancelled.
Not cancelled, postponed. So that's happening in a couple of weeks' time. So you'll get to see that. And with that, we can talk about our goals for that half marathon. Because recently, you broke your 5k PB, right?
Yeah.
In a park run on a stupidly hot day. You went and set a time of, what was it, 21:30?
21:30.
Personal best.
Which was very impressive for the conditions and showed that you're in pretty decent form. your half marathon PB was set a couple of years ago
Yeah.
when you weren't as fit as you are now.
No, not nearly. It was like 145 something. Could have been snuck into 144s on the actual time, but I'm pretty sure it's 145.
Yeah. So I've said that, yeah, you want to be beating that, and it's time for a half marathon PB. In fact, I suggested that you might be able to aim for maybe 140. Go for that big target of sub 100 minute.
Must go faster.
To which you reacted with skepticism. So I said, all right, maybe, if it's a rough weather day, somewhere between 140 and 143 ought to be a sensible goal. And your response,
Well, my response was,
I need to remind you, because there's a lot riding on it, was if I get under 143, I will buy us both a Mercedes. So
Adrian's now really keen for
I'm
me
quite
to
motivated.
run that 143 or under, and my motivation is still high, but less so since I've thrown down the gauntlet.
I'll drag you around for 143 if I have to, if
You'll
I
do
can.
anything.
Yeah.
It's
So
all
the-
about the mindset.
So that's the half marathon. And then there are other things that are going on. Before that half marathon even, you're going to interrupt your training.
Yes.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
Oh yeah. I'm going on a trip to Fiji for
But Fiji?
work, and so I'll be having a week and a bit there, and that's actually, I love traveling, but when you're training, it's actually a massive consideration and something you do kind of need to plan for, because obviously there's so much that goes into that, you know. Can you actually get out for your runs? Where can you go? Can you get in for your strength sessions? Those sorts of things.
Is
So
it safe?
yes, exactly. So got to just think about the logistics of that, but I'm still excited, and maybe you'll see some new scenery.
That would be awesome. So that takes us to the end of March. You've gone to Fiji. We've run a half marathon. You've got a new PB.
How is this so fast?
We've both got new
Mercedes.
Mercedes
We're
cars that
driving
we're
nice
driving around
cars.
in. And then we hit April. And April,
It's the big song and dance.
it's time for you to hit another PB,
Yeah.
because your marathon, your road marathon PB, set last year on the Gold Coast, was a 3:52. And this year, you are heading to
Canberra.
Canberra.
Best city in the world.
And I'm gonna take the leaf out of Coach Shiloh's book and say, I'm not really sure what my time aim is yet, but I definitely want it to be significantly faster.
And remember, Canberra is cold. Conditions will be nice and cool.
Thank
None of
God
this
for that.
hot, humid stuff. And there are a few hills on the course. So it's not a trivial undertaking, but I'm sure that 3:52 can be beaten. And
Adro!
the week after you go to Canberra, I'm off to London
Yes, London.
to have a second crack at the London Marathon, which I last did 8 years ago. And 8 years ago, I ran that in 3:36. in a terribly executed race, to be honest. I went out way too fast.
You fucking idiot.
Blew up horribly. Massive positive split. I was hoping to do it in 3:25, so it all went horribly wrong. But it was a PB at the time, and it remains my fastest overseas marathon. So I definitely want to beat that. And I really want to try and get back under 3:30. But I've never done overseas, obviously. And I've only done a few times in Australian events 7 or 8 years ago. So I'm trying to turn back the clock, deny the aging process, etc, etc. And that'll get us to the end of April. And what about May, June and July then? Is there anything on the calendar for May, June and July? Well, as we get closer to August, our focus is going to have to get more and more
Trails.
on the trails and getting some really long distances on rugged terrain. So there'll probably be fewer road races on the calendar, less of a focus on the speedy sessions. But that's a long time still to focus entirely on one thing. So I'd say there's a distinct possibility that whilst doing that, we might have a crack, because the weather will be good, at a properly speedy 5k. And I wonder whether that'll be the chance to join the likes of Sarah Hartley on the running channel on a quest for a sub 20 minute 5k, because
We can't wait to see it, Sarah. Next week.
I know you'll do it, Sarah. And we'll have a crack at it later on in the year when we're inspired by you. But yes, I've never formally cracked 20 minutes for 5k. I've come very close a few times. But I think maybe with a bit of concentrated effort, that might be a goal for the year. But August, we head off into the desert. We spend 4 days killing ourselves outside Alice Springs, which will be a fantastic adventure, and we should get some amazing footage. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you are notified of any videos we post, and you'll get to see all the details. And then, in a moment of utter madness, after the Larapinta Stage Race,
This guy.
just 13 days after, which is not enough to recover, I will be running the Sydney Marathon, the latest in the World Marathon Major Series, to collect my 7th star of the series. And that will not be quick. That will not be a 3 hour 30 marathon, I can promise you right now. I'll just jog around and hopefully enjoy the day, soak up the atmosphere and see what Sydney can do, see if it can compete with the likes of London, New York, Boston, Tokyo, Berlin and Chicago for atmosphere. That's the challenge for you guys in Sydney. Show up,
Come on, guys.
support it, make it a thing. Right, that's the end of the trail.
Yep.
And as always, at the end of a trail, the thing to look forward to
The drink.
is a tap. Are we happy today?
Very low spoutage, but temperature is improving because of the weather.
So to summarise, are we happy?
Yeah, I always need water.
We're happy. Good.
We're happy.
Right, we're all done. So if you enjoyed that,
Like,
click
subscribe.
like and subscribe. If you want to hear more and you want to follow some of the races that we talked about, hit subscribe. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.